Just before Christmas one year, I was made redundant from my job in London and had to find work very quickly. I was offered a contract by a publisher starting a new project, but the one downside was the long train commute from my home. And on a good day it took just over 2 hours each way, door to door. When I got tired of reading or working, I looked out of the train window, and what I saw, at first glancing casually and then looking more carefully, began to interest me. The first part of the journey took place through beautiful countryside with hills, woods, fields and scattered houses. Later on, the landscape changed, becoming big fields and uplands, something on a completely different scale. I grew to love the views from the train window, and one winter morning I watched a red sun rise over a frosted world where everything seemed to be covered in pink icing, making amazing sculptures from branches and clumps of grass. I began to recognise certain landmarks and eventually became much more interested in the natural features than the man-made ones. Human beings were at first hunters and gatherers living in small groups of perhaps a few dozen people, working hard to find enough food to keep them alive. Over the millennia this changed, until about 5,000 years ago probably half the world's population had access to agriculture and more reliable sources of food. Just 250 years ago, most people lived alongside nature in a way we can hardly imagine, in a rural landscape that was very different from what we see now. That changed with the Industrial Revolution that began in Britain in the 18th century. Large cities, conurbations and huge transport networks were created, and now the vast majority of people in the UK live in urban settings. Technological developments have made life much, much easier and safer. But is there a cost to living disconnected from the natural world? Many of us have been disconnected from the natural world recently, and if the past surreal few weeks have shown us anything, it is how much we enjoy being outside in green spaces and how much we miss them. We do need places where we have the chance to slow down and to look around us. Because being out in nature is not only good for our physical health, it's good for our minds too. It helps us to get a sense of proportion, calm us down, and to be peaceful. And getting a sense of proportion at the moment seems especially difficult. Sometimes it seems as if we don't have a roadmap or sat-nav to help us negotiate what is going on. A roadmap for Christians can be found in the Bible in chapters 5, 6 and 7 of Matthew's Gospel, a set of guidelines, part of Jesus' teaching for how to think and act in relation to God and to others. It presents a completely different dimension, the dimension of love. Love that reaches out to other people, but love that first comes from God. And one section at the end of chapter 6 talks in some detail about anxiety, and it puts anxiety in the context of God's love and care for us, and in so doing it gives a really different perspective. Jesus says, just look at the wildflowers growing. And he uses these words. Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? And why do you worry about clothes? See how the flowers of the field grow. They do not labour or spin. Yet I tell you that not even Solomon in all his splendour was dressed like one of these. God has given us a beautiful world, full of wonders, both big and small. It is there for us to learn from, to understand so we can protect it, and to enjoy. It is there as a demonstration of God's power his care, and his love for each one of us.